Very good afternoon. Welcome to the second half of the third day of the training program. We are conducting on intellectual property rights aspects for business startup. Okay, thank you. Let us start with the afternoon session. This is welcome you all to 12th June 2019. For this session, we have with us Kushal and Shri Sarvdeep ji, and I welcome you both. Both are working as managers with Signicent LLP, and they are here to deliberate upon the themes industrial design and geographical indications. So first, I would like to introduce Mr. Kushal. Mr. Kushal has 5+ years of experience in IPR field, where he has been involved in serving the clients of Signicent in US, Europe, Asia from the research point of view. His portfolio includes drafting the provisional as well as non-provisional applications for US, and he's currently leading drafting team of organization from all domains. He has completed post-graduation graduate diploma in IPR, and being from the mechanical background, has managed a portfolio that includes aerospace and defense, construction, robotics, kinematics, and automobile. To be more specific, the portfolios include vehicle batteries, tire industry, robotic systems, intelligent lighting systems, and many more. Sir, the kind of introvert nature you have and down-to-earth nature you have, and you have the same strong profile. I welcome you, and I'm honored to have you here on this platform. That's it. About Mr. Sarvdeep. Sarvdeep has 6+ years of experience in IPR field, where he has acted as a key interface between the clients of Signicent in US, Europe, Asia, and their operations team in India. His portfolio includes management of the various domains, but not limiting to electronics, semiconductors, mechanical designing, and manufacturing, aerospace, general utility, inventions. He has also managed filing cases for foreign and native clients. His work includes managing operations, client relations, developing account plans, and delivering proposals. His expertise in US, European patent, and Asian laws help him serve as liaison between Signicent and its clients. It is evident Sarvdeep has outgoing persona, so I see that I am a mirror image of Sarvdeep. That's it. So you have both technical and client relationship skills also, and I'm happy and honored to have you also over here, Sarvdeep.
Thank
sir.
you.
And I hand over the platform now over to you. As you know, in the morning we have 6 different institutions, university, engineering colleges, and polytechnics from different states of the country that have been connected to us for this training program on intellectual property rights aspects for business startups. That's it. I hand over the platform to you, Kushal and Sarvdeep. It's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the session is all about geographical indications and industrial design. So, but we'll start from basics of IPR. There might be chance few more people have joined us. So to brief, so what IP is basically, IP includes patents, trademarks, copyrights, geographical indication, and industrial designs. To sum up, patents would be something like a set of exclusive rights that a person will be granted for his new invention, for his new idea. And coming up to the trademark is a sign for a company for which the product of that company would be differentiated with that of the other company. And coming to the copyright would be something for artistic work, for the literature work, for some literary thing, and for paintings. The copyright would be protecting these kind of things. And coming to the geographical indication is the sign that is particularly provided to a product which comes from a particular origin. So like if we take an example of tequila, so tequila is basically a name which is related to Mexico, and the tequila is originated from Mexico. That is why it has geographical indication in Mexico. When it comes to the industrial design, when we are talking about some design of a product of anything, of any machinery, of a product, of something that has some utility. If it has some aesthetics in it, it is coming under industrial design, right? So basically people get confused between GI and trademark because both of these are signs, both of these are used for some product. But basic difference between these is GI, it covers, GI covers like the product which has some particular origin, which has some geographical indication, which has some name of a city which has been particularly associated with that product. That is called GI. And the owner of the GI, it can be anyone who is associated with that particular place. When it comes to the trademark, trademark is more of is sign which is more of associated with the company. A sign for a product or sign for a company which distinguishes it with that of the other company's products. And the owner of trademark, it can be anyone from anywhere in the world. Okay, so when we talk about safeguarding, when we talk about protecting the IP, what can be the factors that come into the mind of inventors, of owners of the IP, that it should be protected? What points can it be? I mean, if I ask the audience, if I ask the universities, can you tell me what factors are there which come into the mind of an inventor while safeguarding the IP?
From city group of institutions.
So why a safeguard IP? Obviously, like there must be a definite program so that nobody can use others like research work or any other literature, anything else on methodology. So that would be like there should be a proper safeguard IP. Why? It's mandatory.
Okay.
What are the parameters of the safeguard IP? Sorry. That's it. Sir.
Other call. See, while owning the IP, owning the intellectual property, it's not like मैंने protect कर लिया, that's it. It has to be some, there has to be some benefit of protecting the IP. So I'm asking, like, what can be, if you are an inventor, what would be your perspective of safeguarding the IP? Why have you, obtained that IP over an invention, and what is the motive of safeguarding it? Okay, we'll start. First is selling. You may have the protection over an IP, you may have the protection over your product, and you can sell it to anyone in the anyone in the world. To some, if you have safeguarded any, if I talk about a design of a car, you can sell it to any automobile industry. And if we come to the another factor, royalty, you can gain royalty from your invention from the after safeguarding it. And the other factor is recognition. When you are having an IP, it is evident, like in the industry, you are working somewhere and you are having some R&D about that, and that is why you are so protecting the product. That is why you are safeguarding the your invention. And when we come up, talk about the commercialization is something that comes after having you have some product. Say you have a product, you want to sell it, you can sell, but keep in mind that do not allow anyone else to commercialize it, because you are the owner, you are the one who can sell it, who can manufacture it and commercialize it and sell it to anyone, sell the product. The another is a technological development. When you are working on some utility, you are working on some invention, you have an idea in your mind, sell it to people, and people will come to know about you. People will come to know that you are working in that field. People will come to know that there are some advancements going on in that particular field. Licensing. You can license your product to other companies, and in return, you can gain the royalty from those companies. And economic growth, finally. Okay, now coming to the geographical indications. Geographical indication is something like, it's a sign particularly for a product which is somewhere related to the origin of that particular product. The example I just gave was like tequila. Tequila is the geographical indication in Mexico. Tequila is the name of a drink. Tequila is the name of the city in the Mexico. So they have the geographical indication with them. They can only use the tequila word for that particular drink. No one else has the right. Scope of the geographical indication. So when we talk about the scope, where can we apply the geographical indication? It's not like everywhere we can apply. It is limited to food stuff. It is limited to agricultural products. It is, somewhere related to the drinks, beverages, and handicrafts, and any other industrial designs. So registered GIs. In the previous session, you might have heard like Alfonso Mango and tequila I just mentioned. So are you guys aware of what other GIs might be having within India? If I ask the city group of colleges, are you aware of any GI? Okay, if we start from Assam, is anyone aware of GI that Assam has?
So I just know only about the like particularly wanted to
Sir, Assam has tea.
Assam has tea. Okay. Anything else? Okay. We jump on to Jammu and Kashmir. What is there there which is famous in Jammu and Kashmir, which has some geographical indication?
Sir, it is saffron.
Saffron. Okay. What else? Himachal Pradesh, if we talk about HP.
Apple.
Apple.
Yes.
Okay. It's not like every state would be having just one GI. It can be multiple also. Tell me about Uttar Pradesh, UP.
so we have Kolhapuri Chappal.
Kolhapuri Chappal. Okay. Anything else? Nagaland. Okay, we'll jump to the answers. Assam has silk, ginger, lychee, rice, and chawl. These are the geographical indications that are associated with Assam. And when we talk about Jammu and Kashmir, it has shawl, pashmina, craft, and wood carvings. Himachal Pradesh, tea, rumal, shawl, and jeera, and chulli oil. And a list of Uttar Pradesh is a bit big. So, and this is not only GIs that UP has. There's the incomplete list just because of the restriction of the page. So I didn't write everything. And when it comes to Nagaland, Naga Mirchi is very famous, and it has a geographical indication there. Okay, next for Sikkim, anyone knows? For Goa, come on, Goa is famous for two things. One is beach, other is
City group of institutions.
We are inviting so we are just inviting. Fanny क्या है?
Penny. Okay, and for Mizoram, any guesses?
Very good. Any guesses from your side? From Mizoram, whatever.
Okay, West Bengal.
नहीं अभी जब आप बोलोगे तब बताओ.
West Bengal or Karnataka?
Spice.
Can you repeat, please?
Sandalwood,
Sandalwood. Okay, that is one. For which state you mentioned sandalwood?
Karnataka,
Karnataka. Okay. Any other guesses, or should I jump to the answers?
mm,
Okay. Sikkim has large cardamom as a geographical indication. Goa has fenny. Right answer. Mizoram has chili. And West Bengal, it is tea, Rasagulla, saris, mango, leatherwoods, and few dishes also. Again, this list is not complete due to space restrictions. For Karnataka, it's mango, leaf, orange, Mysore silk, Mysore agarbatti. Okay. Few more states are coming like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, and Tamil Nadu. Would someone like to answer for Rajasthan? What is famous in Rajasthan? Any artistic work?
sir, Bandhani,
Bandali.
that work, that
Pottery.
that
Yes, that is one.
Sir, dal bati churma for Rajasthan.
Dal bati churma. Let's see if they have a GI for it. No, they haven't registered for the GI, but they have something else like artwork. Katputli is the puppet show, and the pottery is famous in Jaipur, and some clay work and the bhujia also, Bikaneri bhujia. They have a GI for it. They can register for it. And when it comes to Gujarat, they have embroidery, they have mango, they have crafts work. Andhra Pradesh, Tirupati ka laddu, they have the GI for it, geographical indication. And Tamil Nadu, Kanchipuram silk. No one knew it. Wow, strange. Okay, so the complete list is available at ipindia.com. You can find it there very easily, but few was possible to showcase you that were only already that are only shown to you. And the details that IP India gives is the application number for the GI, the type of good, in what category does it fall. If it is an eatable, it falls under some agricultural product, and if it is some wood carving, so that would be coming under some artistic work. Those are the kind of categories that have been divided, and you can easily see them on the IP India website. And state with which the GI is registered, that is also mentioned on the IP India website. And someone was asking in the previous session, like if they are able to see for year wise GIs, if they are available publicly. Yes, they are. In the screenshot you may see from April 2004 to March 2005, list shows 3 GIs, and in the next year few more were registered, and they are they are adding up every year. They are currently there are more than 300 GIs that have been registered with India in almost all the states. In almost all the states. Okay. Now people register GI, but what is the purpose of that registration? Why you should value GI? So first one is like they are representing some origin. If you talk about Darjeeling tea, you know that if you go to a shop, you ask for tea, the shopkeeper would give you 2 options: simple tea or Darjeeling tea. Which one would you opt for? Obviously Darjeeling tea, because it has some significance. Taste बहुत अच्छा होगा शायद. क्यों? क्योंकि it has been grown in Darjeeling. So this is the reputation that that particular product has. So that denotes the quality of the product, that denotes the place from where it has been originated. Second comes the reputation of the product कि दार्जिलिंग की है, obviously बहुत अच्छी होगी. Other is, say अगर that was being grown in some other state. If I talk about Punjab में grown they have grown the tea, but we all know that वहाँ पे tea grow करना is not the weather condition are not appropriate for the cultivation of that tea. So that is why Darjeeling tea would be more preferable. So when it comes to the competition, there are 2 teas. A and B. A is from Darjeeling, B is from some other brand. So what would you opt for? जो अच्छा होगा, Darjeeling. The point that was covered in the very first point, GI denotes quality. That is, somewhere related to the competition. It, directly eliminates the competition in this field. And when it comes to the marketing, it triggers the marketing as it, depicts like GI has some significance in itself. If you are talking about tequila, it is coming from a specific origin, so everyone knows that origin might have something extra that they might be adding because the conditions there are more favorable for that particular product. So everyone would go there, and this is the marketing strategy that companies acquire, that they use to market their product. Then comes the registration of the GI. When it comes to registration, first step would be the filing of the application. The receiving office in Chennai, they ask for triplets of the copies for the filing of GI. You have to submit 3 copies there of the product, the complete specification about where the product has been originated, about the specification of the owner, the organization that would be filing for the GI, and that would be being submitted manually offline to the receiving office at Chennai. On IP India, you may find the address, proper address where you should file for the GI. The second step comes the examination phase. When the GI would be examined, the examiner would scrutinize the your application, and he will find for some deficiencies if there are any, and for overcoming those deficiencies, the applicant would be given just 1 month period, and in that 1 month period you need to clear those deficiencies and you need to get the application corrected and then submit it to the receiving office. Third step is almost same. In this step, the application is forwarded after the examination to a group of consultants who are expert in that particular field. They'll examine it again and they will let you know if there are some loopholes left. For the fourth part, showcase notice. What comes in showcase notice? The application would then be forwarded to the registrar, and if even at that time there are some loopholes in your application, the registrar may cancel your application, or he may ask you for to come to the office for the hearing. For responding to the hearing, the applicant would be given a time period of 2 months, and within those 2 months the applicant would have to reply, else the application would be abandoned. So after this show cause notice, if everything goes in a good way, so the application would be published in the journal, and after the publication it will be registered. But after the registration, there might be chances that some third party may oppose your application. For that opposition, to counter that opposition, the applicant should address the opponent in front of the registrar that his points were valid and the conditions were favorable. That is why he has filed for the application. Then only he'll get the green signal from the registrar if ball is in his court, and only then he'll be granted the application. Else the application might get rejected just because of the opposition. And if the opponent is valid, he has some valid points. Then comes the registration and the renewal part. GI has some life. The life is 10 years. After every 10 years, you need to get it renewed. If you do not get it renewed, that may get cancelled. The registration may get cancelled. So after the registration, we'll come to the application fees. The 5,000 rupees is the general fees that they charge you for registration. 5,000 is one, but there are many other factors that come into play. Like when an applicant counters like some hearing situation, he may file the response, and that filing may charge him 500 rupees. And there are few more charges that may occur, he may have to incur, like for hearing, for show cause notice, for some to correct the deficiencies, and for adding some extra class to the that particular product that he's getting the GI for. So for renewal, as you can see, I have mentioned a range 1,000 to 3,500 rupees. So if you are getting your GI renewed within the time period. If it is not expired within the time period you are getting it renewed, it will cost you 1000 rupees. But once the 10-year tenure gets ended, so that will cost you 3000 rupees. And after the expiration of your GI, if it is you are getting it renewed, so that may cost you 3000 to 3500 rupees. Complete list of cost that can again be seen in IP India website. They have the complete list there. That list includes the cost of adding classes, the cost of registration as per different sections, the cost of hearing, the cost of adding some applicant name. Various kind of costs are there. So what's hot in GI when it comes to current topics? Himachal Pradesh has recently been granted GIs for Kala Jeera and chulli oil. Chulli oil, it is apricot kernel oil. They have been granted the GI for these two things recently. It's the news of 31st May. You can see. Okay, so next is industrial design. I guess Mr. Sarvdeep will take on the session from now. Mr. Sarvdeep.
Thank you. Thank you, Kushal sir.
Thank you. So
Now it's over to Sarvdeep sir.
we may take the questions at the end of the session.
So we will take it together. Will it be fine?
Yeah, we can take it together at the end. Fine.
Perfect.
Let me take it. I'll show.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I need to adjust it by my height. Okay. First of all, thank you, Amandip, especially for giving me the last slot. So I'm hoping that everybody is not asleep right now. So especially after lunch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it more interactive than having just giving the information, so that we can actually relate to it and we can see that how we can utilize this particular industrial design as one of the aspects, including what are the other aspects that is for the IP, that is patent, trademark, and copyright. And already GI के बारे में Kushal ने already आपको बता दिया. So let's start. So first of all, just want to understand that what exactly industrial design means. It's just you can say ornamental or aesthetic value, which can be given to any design, maybe to the back of this laptop, if you can see, or maybe any car designs, or any design which gives some ornamental or aesthetic input to the design. So on the slide you can see the phone that is one of the iconic phone from the Sony Ericsson. So that was the design that was quite hype when it comes to the in 2000 especially. So if I move it to the next slide, so what exactly comes under the scope of design? So as we all know, we only remember two things. If it is one is beautiful, second is ugly. that's how the human brain works. So whatever the ugly, whatever the aesthetically good is coming under the industrial design. It can be bottle designs, or it can be chairs, it can be jewelries your mother or your girlfriend is wearing, or appliances that you daily use in the kitchen, or maybe in the field of washing machine or any other the refrigerators. Then comes it is not restricted to only to a three-dimensional object. It is also restricted to the two-dimensional objects. If like Kushal already gave you an example related to GI, especially in the silk, or maybe some kind of shawls that are from the Jain case. They might be having a unique design on it. So that is also coming under the industrial design. So it is not restricted to something which is on the three-dimensional, which we can present. There can be some two-dimension if you have the great artwork that can also come under the industrial design. Or most of the designing for any kind of car is done on the paper. That is called the blueprints of the everything. So that are coming under the industrial design. And whenever somebody represents, they are the industrial designs for it. And if you can see on the slide, So you can see desktop is there, and I'm pretty sure that almost 90% of people know that which brand it is. You don't even if I blur the logo there at the bottom, which I think which you might not be able to see, still you can recognize this is a product from the Apple because of their industrial design. So when we talk about our revenue, when we talk about the selling, as Kushal already mentioned in the first slide, that the aspect, the points that need to be covered for the IP is on the basis of the selling, commercialization of the technology. Because if you are investing money to something, you definitely look forward to get the revenue out of it. So giving a complete sum solution is something which covers the design aspect. So even just to give you a further example, where we all go to the McDonald's or maybe KFC's or even Haldiram, one of the examples that Kushal gave. So you can see that the ambience of the place is always similar. They never change it. That also comes under the industrial design, because that contribute to the existing brand value that McDonald's, KFC's or Bikaner is having. So if I move it further, you can see that there are some examples. First one is segregated to the fashion and textile industry. You can see that the ornament, it can be a unique ornament, unique design. You can go for the industrial design for it. I'm not sure that how many, if you can interact with the city group, they are the young people, they might, I'm sorry to say that, I'm also old. So a city group, can you guys point out what brand this textile is? The Czech one. No, sorry.
Second
Yeah, this textile.
So second one, household appliance company.
Sorry, under the fashion and textile product, the second one, that is a Czech one. Can you let me know the name of the brand?
It's Burberry.
Yeah. So you know that by just the recognition of the texture, the design, you can know that, okay, this is a Burberry. So that is the power of industrial design. And this is how deeply we are getting involved with the designs, even that we are not aware of it, that we can actually go after and we can register the industrial designs for the texture of clothing line also. So let's move it to another one. That's very simple. The household appliances, you utilize a lot of, especially in colleges, आपके पास induction cookers होंगे, they have a particular designs. So that comes under the industrial design. The washing machines you see, the television screens you see, and then there are the innovative furnitures. That is again a bigger market. That's a very big market nowadays. You can sell it on the basis of the design. You can sell a stool with a cost of $10. You can sell a similar stool with a similar utility, but having a different industrial design, and you can sell it at a heavy price. Then comes the technology. Steve Jobs always said, technology is good, but it should be beautiful. So that is where now the industry is going after, with a notch in the camera, with the new design, with the glass on the background, back of iPhone. That is coming under the industrial design aspect, and even the packaging. So I hope you all order from the e-commerce sites, especially from the Flipkarts or Jabong. They have their separate boxes that they deliver. They mostly avoid delivering the products on the company. Like if you order a Nike shoe, they most probably you'll get a Jabong box than anybody else. So even those boxes are having a special design. So they are protecting that part of an IP under the industrial design. And last one is the Chanel. That is a big brand. The boxes, you can, from the, just by seeing the boxes, you can see that, okay, this is a Chanel perfume. So guys, quick question. So I hope all of you can see it. And first of all, I will start with the city group. City group, what is your take on this quick question? That first one is the registered designs. Do you think second one is something which is acceptable? Or,
The second one is acceptable. It is quite like visible and
It is visible or not?
yes, sir, it's visible. Second one is visible.
Okay. Now tell me, is it a good design or it's a bad design? If you already have a one registered design, that is the first one, do you go after the second one or not?
So I would go for second option. Second one. It's a good design.
The point is like we have already one. First one is already registered. Do you file the second one?
We will buy the first one.
Okay. Can we move to another college? MSU? Ma'am, there are two designs right now in front of you. We are talking to MSU right now? Yes. So, ma'am, we have two designs in front of you. First one is a registered industrial design, and second one is we are going to apply. Do you think it's a good option to apply this design or not?
I don't think second should be registered.
Second is?
When first is registered, I do not think second should also be registered.
Second is similar. That is what you're saying, ma'am?
Yes, second is similar.
Okay. So can we move to Bathinda? That is Maharaja Ranjit Singh.
From MRSTU Batinda.
Ma'am, do you think if we have the first design that is registered, do you think we should apply for the second one?
No.
Okay. So, okay, that's fair. We shouldn't be applying for the second one because the resemblance is too high. So, just to be on the side that it's not about, as I initially mentioned, it's all about the designing aspect of it, the aesthetic aspect of it. So it should be different. So now comes to what are the conditions to be registering industrial design. So it should be new, it should be original, it shouldn't be there prior, or it shouldn't be disclosed to the public. If you have something which is aesthetically beautiful, keep it to you. I know it's very difficult in now's time because with the Instagram and Facebook, you always have to brag about it. But the initial aspect to protect your IP, you should secure it and must first file it and then move to the bragging about it. And sorry. And the next one is it should be distinctive. Just the last case we discussed, the both were the resemblance was very high. So one was not able to distinguish between what exactly the difference is. So the differentiating factor should be there, and it shouldn't be something obscene or scandalous because we live in India, so we have to follow certain rules. Okay. So moving to the next slide. So what is the importance of design into the business? As Kushal also mentioned that every aspect of GI is to distinguish your product from your competitor. And again, this is one important aspect when it comes to the revenue model for your efforts and your product. So similar is the scenario here. So first one is the brand royalty, or you can say that maintaining a consumer base. So if we talk about it here, I've taken an example of Apple. Apple continue to give you a aesthetically beautiful design for all the devices that they are producing, so that you can relate to it, you can admire it, and you can buy it. Okay. And the second one, especially might be there because there are a lot of memes about it. So Apple is right now selling yeah, Harith knows it. So okay, Apple is right now selling an Mac Pro stand which is costing around $100,000, which is around $1,000. So in Indian currency, it's like it's 74,000 74,000 rupees. So what they're doing is they're building a so beautiful design, and then they're building a consumer loyalty with the design, and then they're moving it by adding the value to the product. Okay, so now there is no other option unless some third party comes into the picture and they started making cheaper designs for the stands. You can buy it. Else you have to buy a design that is already being under the industrial design from the Apple. So here comes the third point, which is creating harmony between the functionality and the form. Just to understand what exactly it means. you can see there are two mouses, the mouses that we utilize for moving the cursors for our laptops. You can see in the first image, you can see aesthetically it's beautiful. Even the second one is beautiful. Now comes the utility and the comfortable zone of the product. So the first image is in relation to the devices that we already have. And the second one is a bit of uncomfortable. Think about spending and you can say 5-6 hours working with a round mouse is very difficult. Then a mouse which is having a you can say rectangular or cubical shape. So now comes the where is the main aspect for the marketing comes into the picture. That is a product line. So if we talk about why started with now they are not selling any products, which is bad because they had a very good laptop series. So why started with very basic model. Then what they did is they did on the line extension. With what they do is they build new designs for it with the similar kind of you can say graphical or similar kind of processor inputs, but the designing system was changed. And Vio series was famous for this particular change only. So now comes brand extension. Previously we talked about the line extension. Now comes the brand extension. Everybody, even if we talk about Ferraris, they tied up with Nike, Puma. Puma is producing the Ferrari shoes. So that is called the extension. That is called utilizing the design aspect of a particular technology or particular product and commercializing it on the basis of another market. So in this case, you can see that they are utilizing their industrial design for the laptop designing as well, so that you can actually relate it to the product that it is okay, it is from the Ferrari itself. Yeah. So again, we'll move to one another question. Now you guys have to tell me, first one is again a registered design. Second one should be a good design or a bad design. Let's move with MSU first.
From MSU Vadodara, Gujarat.
Ma'am, first one again is a registered design. Would you say that second one should be applied or not?
If it has some benefit over the first registered one, then it should be registered.
Sure, certainly. Fair. Okay, so I'm assuming that you will be going ahead with filing a second one also. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. And if we talk about city group,
Just consider to be same.
okay, you will consider it to be same. Okay, and if we move to Kurukshetra, Hanji sir.
So the two designs seems to be same.
Okay, sir.
It is not able to register the second one.
Okay, sir. Fair enough, sir. Can we move to Himachal Pradesh? We are connected with them. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, both designs are same. They can't. Second design is not patentable in my point of view.
Okay, fair enough. So definitely second wouldn't be able to pass the test when it comes to applying for the industrial design. See, though the number of legs for the legs in the second are more, but it is giving an illusion of the first one. So now comes what are the type of registration that actually you can do with the industrial design. So I'm hoping that most of you are aware of the WIPO. WIPO is an international body which is taking care of all the patents and trademarks and all the IP aspect. And Hyoge's agreement is under the WIPO. So what is there that there are around 70 countries who signed an agreement. So if you want to file in those 70 countries, you can directly file an Hyoge agreement application and for the industrial design, and it will be registered into 70 countries. So this is a major aspect when it comes to saving of the money. But sadly, India is not the part of it right now. And we, for the Indian especially, you have to file at the Indian Patent Office going directly, even though if you have filed for the Hyoge agreement, then within the span of 6 months, you have to file in Indian as a national application, if in case you want to file. So you can say the grace period, that is 12 months for the patent from provisional to non-provisional. In case of industrial design, it is 6 months. So within a 6 months, you have to file in other territories wherever you want to file. Yeah. So now comes the need that why industrial design has to be registered, because again, as same with all the other aspects of the IP, it also gives you an exclusive right over the design or aesthetic value of it, so that nobody can copy it. So it is offered 10 years in India with the extension of 5 years. So total of 15 years that luxury you can enjoy. But it varies from country to country. It can be 30 for some countries, it can be 50 for some countries. So, and also it will give you a certification of the ownership, that is must. And again, it can be used as a registered document against the infringers who are utilizing, who are exploiting your designs in the market and capitalizing it, and you can sue it and get a revenue out of it. And again, it's a better opportunity for licensing, as Kushal also mentioned, that for the GI as well as for the patents, we have to strong the IP. So normally you always hear that a company is selling a portfolio, is having a brand value of N billion or maybe 100 billion. Apple is having a brand value of around $150 billion. So that include patent portfolio, that include designs, that include I'm not sure they are having a GIs for Apple or not. They might not be. It includes the trademarks. So complete package of the IP is considered when we talk about the brand value of a company or a technology. Okay. And if I move it further, so these are some of the registration processes that you have to do. You have to fill the form, that is a form 5 and form 44, which you can get from the government side. In government side, they have already given the forms, and they have given the luxury of how to fill it. It's very easy. And then comes the file of form of examination. Then there is in case you are filing with the help of an agent, then you have to give the power of attorney to them. If you are filing it directly, then you have to have a digital signatures for it. Okay, so who can file? Anybody who is having individual company or any legal entity can file it. You don't have to be a registered firm or something, and you can file in the 4 offices which are standard: Kolkata office, Delhi office, Mumbai, and Chennai. And whichever the near one is to you, you should file in that. So now comes the fee structure. I hope you guys can see the fee structure. The charges for the natural entity is 1,000, small entity 2,000, and large entity is 4,000. So I get a lot of questions that, sir, what is the difference between a small entity and large entity? Where we should be falling, especially from the university's point of view? That is quite a common question that we get, even for the patents also. Mostly universities fall under the small entity. But as per the government law, it is segregated on the basis of revenue. If you are having a revenue more than 5 crores, then you are coming under the large. And if you are having a lesser than that, you are coming under the small entity. But there are a lot of provisions by the government when it comes to the startups. So Citigroup, if you guys are having a startups, or if you're having some kind of design or maybe car design, because a lot of people are mechanical, especially Kushal might know that we got a lot of queries from the mechanical departments of the university that building a cars or robotics. So please, just a personal request, just follow the procedures, file it on the trademark if you want, file it on the patents, but also go with the designing aspect of it, because that is where the lot of problems are coming into picture. Okay, so because this thing happened to us, one of Harish known actually manufactured a design that goes like 6 years back. So after like last year, Harit got a call from his friend, and he said, Harit, I'm facing a big problem right now. So he's having a unique design, but now Flipkart is asking them to sell it. But he's not having any kind of royalties or any kind of certification to sell it, because now it's in the public domain. He never registered for any kind of IP. So now if he might have already registered, he would have taken the good chunk of money from the Flipkart. Now just Flipkart has just to copy the design and just paste it on their website, and they can sell it. Nobody can stop it. So always take care of your IP, take care of your invention, whatever you do. So the charges are ranging from the 1,000 rupee to 4,000. That is the government fees, and then there is a renewable fees, and then there is a class extension fees. There are around 32 classes in which you can file for the industrial design. So this is again the process. So as soon as you file, the dates, they will allocate you the application number, that is a temporary number. Then they put in the examination phase. Then in case the objection are there, they will be commencing the objection. If there is no objections, you can have the direct notification in the official journals. So in case of objection, you have to face the hearings, you have to go to the hearings, and you have to let them know why your design is unique and why it is different than another one. Okay, so everybody knows about Apple and Samsung. They are on the merge of initially the S series from the Galaxy was almost on the merge of copying the design aspect of the Apple's phone. That was a huge case. So guys, let's do another case study. So we'll start with MSU. Ma'am, the question is Coca-Cola bottle will be coming under the industrial design or the trademark? Can we move to MSU?
From MSc Vadodara, please switch on your mic, ma'am.
Yes, it does come.
It will be coming under, ma'am?
Design.
Design.
Okay, ma'am. Industrial design. Okay, let's move to the Haryana, Yamunanagar. Sir.
From JNLIT.
Is it coming under the industrial design or the trademark? The Coca-Cola bottle.
From JMLIT Yamunanagar.
Sir.
Sir, switch on your mic.
Hanji. Sir, is it coming under industrial design or the trademark?
Sir, I think bottle comes under the industrial design and the logo on the bottle is trademark.
Okay, fair enough. Can we move to Bathinda, Maharaja Ranjit Singh?
Hello.
Hanji, sir.
Yes, sir. As said by the ma'am, the bottle design is industrial design and Coca-Cola written is a trademark.
Fair enough, ma'am. Okay, can we move to Citigroup? Citigroup?
So both those it is come under the trademark of Coca-Cola.
Both will come under the trademark of Coca-Cola. Okay.
Design is different. Design comes under the industrial design. The shape and the size and the formation of bottle.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. And if you talk about Himachal Pradesh, Maharaja Agrasen College. So,
sir, actually, this bottle will come in the industrial design, but this logo will be a trademark.
Okay, so what I'm getting right now is that the bottle will be coming under the industrial design and the logo will be coming under a trademark. So you are partially right. Let me tell you why. You're right on the basis of yes, the bottle is coming under the industrial design and logo. Of course, we all understand that is coming under trademark, but also you can do the copyright. That's another aspect. But what is the beauty of IPR is that the things are overlapping and you can capitalize on it. So what Coca-Cola did is initially they filed for the industrial design. They didn't file for any trademark for the bottle. They filed for the industrial design for the bottle. And because the tenure for the design is 15 years, so now they want to protect it. What they do is they now converted this design into their trademark. So that is one reason that Coca-Cola bottles are still the same. So, and we know that we can renew the trademark every 10 years. So there is no endpoint there. So that is why you have to understand where you can go ahead with your technology, and how to protect is again a very important aspect. So by smartly with a hook and crook, you can say Coca-Cola did it. So they protected it on the basis of industrial design as well as on the basis of trademark. So so now comes like why they're doing it. What are the options that we have? Okay, I gave you one option that you can utilize industrial design and you can move it to the trademark. What other options are there that can be clubbed to build a better IP? So I'm just giving you some of the another options. So there are these are some of the multi protection approaches that you can utilize. Especially if we go with the patents, if you have a patent with a utility, but it also includes some kind of design, file for the design as well. Don't restrict it to the on the basis of just the utility, because utility is not covering the design aspect of it. Only industrial designs will cover the design aspect of it. If we talk about the phone shapes, the Apple's phone shape, they filed for the industrial design. They have the utility of the phone is separate. The filing of the industrial design is separate. Then comes the copyright. As I already mentioned you that logos can also be copyrighted. Even the designs can also be copyrighted. So if we talk about you can say any image specified by the marketing purpose for McDonald's or KFC, they're having a unique design for it. It comes under the industrial design as well as under the copyright content. And then I already given you a one Coca-Cola example that how you can collaborate with the design aspect as well as the trademark aspect. So I'll just bouncing to give you a couple of more ideas. So what exactly design will be covering the aesthetics. Here you can see an iPhone. It will cover the only aesthetic look and feel. As I already mentioned, Steve Jobs was very crazy when it comes to the appearance of the devices, because he was the pioneer when it comes to giving the beauty to the technology. Okay, so patents will cover the utility aspect of it. And for the copyright, it can be in the aspect that there can be some designs which can be on the basis of copyright, or they are all the design which can be in the copyright, or there can be copyrights that need to be suspended until the design lapse. So this is how you can actually mix match the things. You can file for the copyright, then you can file for the design aspect, and you can have the life extension for the technology or maybe for the product and securing the invention. And similar is the trademark. So what Coca-Cola did was they filed for the 3D trademark for the bottle to secure the protection for the design aspect. So guys, thank you for the session, and we are open to the questions. And ma'am, we can start with the first city group if they have any.
Thank you, sir. We have not
Thank you.
Okay, questions from your side, city group of institutions. That's it for both from the geographical indications perspective and industrial design perspective.
we have like confusion, but it is already covered. It is already like.
Okay, it is already answered. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now we move on to next sentence. Maharaja Sayaji Rao, University of Vadodara, Vadodara, Gujarat. Questions from your side? Welcome. Any questions from your side?
No questions from our side.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. We move on to the next sentence. That is, let us say Jayaprakash, Mukundlal Institute of Technology, Radar.
Sir, I want to ask one question. In earlier session also, I have asked this question. Is there any data available on the number of GIs of last years, 2018, 17, 16? Are we having any data of number of GIs which have been filed, which have been granted?
Maybe sir, you
Yes,
came
sir.
little bit late. In fact, Kushal showed in the morning. Again, I will request him to highlight the point.
The list, sir, you can see the list on the slide, and this is not a complete list, but a link is provided there on IP India website, which is a government website. There you can find a complete list of GIs that have been registered till date, and that includes the list that includes the registered GIs with year-wise distribution. Like in 2004-5, which were the GIs which were being registered at that time, and for the next year also it is given in a separate category. and there is year-wise distribution of the GIs that is being provided in that PDF on the IP India website.
That's it. Thank you. And sir has included one introductory slide, one snapshot of that page, and a link has been provided on his PPT. And I will be by Friday 2 o'clock. I will be sharing all the content till date. All the experts have shared in PDF file format. I will be sharing the content with you through email with all the local coordinators, and all the participants are requested that they take the content Friday before 5 o'clock from the coordinators. So it is for all. So you can visit that link and you will have a complete list of GIs registered till date. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
And even if afterwards you
Yes,
have
sir. One more question.
with
One
you,
more question, sir.
Haji, sure.
Yes, sir. If some group of people file a GI, so GI is applicable only for that group, or it is applicable for the whole area of that region?
the GI is territory specific. That would be for that particular state where it would be registered.
Means, for example, in that area, if any association is doing a work or trading of that thing, they can use it.
They are the owner of that in that particular area.
For example,
like if you talk about Darjeeling tea, in the Darjeeling area, no one else can have GI for tea with the name of like Darjeeling tea, which has some characteristics associated with that product.
He's saying if there are
We
maybe
can
let us
file
five groups over there in the, let us say Darjeeling growing the tea, and one group association head has filed that.
If that would be the only owner of that particular category,
group, association only. Yeah. So it is there. So if there are multiple groups, so those who have filed
earlier,
they will be getting the GI. That's it.
They will be carrying, or it will be applicable to the whole area, whole region?
No, sir. It is there. It is not applicable for all the people. It is for example, I am representing association of, let us say, 15 people or traders. That's it. So I am representing, if I have filed, means out of those 15 people, anyone can use, but not from the another group.
Not from other group.
Yeah, but it will be restricted to the territory.
It is territory specific. It would be restricted to the territory. Out of that territory, anyone else can use, but it should have some the similar specifications, characteristics.
It should be,
but it won't be having those specific because of climatic conditions.
It is related with the products originating from
place.
Any other query, sir? Any other query? Okay, thank you very much. So we move on to the next center, that is, let us come to Terry Kurukshetra. Any questions from your side? Terry?
No questions, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let us move to MRS PTU. Any questions from your side?
No questions.
Thank you. Maharaja Agar Sen, Institute of Technology, Himachal Pradesh. Any questions from your side, sir, ma'am? Any questions from your side? Okay, any center left, Neelam? Okay, thank you very much. Then finally, I thank Kushal. I thank Sarvdeep sir for sparing time out of your schedule and being with us, and I thank all the participants who have wholeheartedly participated in the session for the day. So we call it a day. Thank you very much.